Welcome back, everybody. As you may know, I am still in Stockholm for a couple more days and watching Dream League, and I have seen some broken stuff in my pubs and also in Dream League itself. So today I'm going to tell you all the best heroes that you need to be spamming right here, right now, because there's probably a letter patch coming, and these heroes are almost certainly going to get nerfed. So, first and foremost, I'd like to say about the patch is that a lot of heroes, had a regular spell of theirs get broken into two, passive get put into the innate, and the rest of it remain as a spell, and they basically remained the same hero. So that's fine and dandy and all, but there were some heroes that just got free shit. Whether that's free stats, extra component to their spells. So those are the heroes that are most notably broken right now, and I'm going to go ahead and be talking to you guys about that today. So we'll go in descending order in terms of roles from 5 all the way to 1. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost in the broken category is Crystal Maiden. She's literally the same hero as she was before, except that her Arcane Aura now increases her cast range by up to 125 and the AoE of all of her effects by 10%. So she just has longer cast range and higher AoE on her Frost Nova as well as her ultimate, just making her a simply more potent version of what she already was. If you're in certain combos also, you can take the Cold Comfort, which makes it so that your spells restore a percentage of the mana you use to your allies. So with a Lesh mid, with a Storm mid, you can simply just be following these guys around using spells, and you're giving them like 40 mana every Frost Nova, 40 mana every Frostbite. You're giving them like 200 mana when you cast your ultimate. It's pretty crazy in the right combo. So overall, Crystal Maiden just feels like an amazing utility support right now, and just really high win rate as well. Next up in the support category is Shadow Shaman. What you guys may not know is that his new Cluster Cluck, one of my favorite named facets, is a basic dispel on his Hex when used on allies. So I have to show you guys what I'm saying. This basically fixes a ton of matchups and also hard counters other ones as well. So he can also cast it on himself. Keep that in mind. So against heroes like Venomancer, for instance, having troubles with Venomancer, he gales you. Boom. And then you remove the gale. Whee! Yeah, you're hexed for a little bit, but you have bonus move speed just like a Pigpole, and you removed all of the debuffs. Also, it cancels any channel disable, such as Bane's Fiend's Grip. Just in case you were wondering if this is strong, boom, he's no longer Fiend's Gripped. So, giving a hero that is incredibly powerful in the aggressive stance, also the ability to follow his teammates around with a basic dispel that also counters certain hard disables like Bane's Fiend's Grip and Batrider Lasso. It's pretty freaking broken, people. So yeah, the other facet's nice and all. It's some gigantic ward. We'd love to think size matters here, but for the sake of this, giving a hard lockdown support a save, who would have thought? That's pretty broken. In terms of one of the funnest heroes that I also think is strong, we have Clockwerk. So his facet makes it so that his cogs are just that much bigger. And even without this facet, he has the ability to just hit his cogs. So notice how first off the cogs are much bigger. Easier to get a bunch of people in them. But also now, Clockwerk's attacks do not destroy the cogs. So you get to throw them at things. And you can also throw them back in the middle. And you can also freely walk out of your own cogs. And other people cannot. So it gives you a lot of maneuverability in fights, and you can also hit the guy with multiple cogs even when he doesn't want you to. I didn't mean to attack that, but boom, boom. You can break TPs by hitting them at people. A lot of fun, and overall the same hero, but just with a nice kick to the power cogs. And don't forget that his innate makes it so that his outgoing damage is increased by 0.3% per armor. What would you know? Bonus shit for free. We heckin' love that. Moving on, we have Dark Willow, whose facet makes her have extra brambles, and enemies take bonus damage when they are hit by your brambles. So a hero with already a lot of damage now has extra brambles, as you can see. Really easy to lock people down in lane, and also just really disruptive in team fights. Yeah, the extra brambles disappear sooner than the other ones, as you see here. But if for the sake of how many brambles often hit people, it's usually when you use it that you're aiming to hit them and they're trying to escape, and it makes it easier to combo with your ultimate, terrorize, and overall buffs up this damage of all your spells and the spells of your teammates whenever those people are hit by brambles. Guess what? 57% win rate at the pro level. Dark Willow, get it while it's hot. Moving on to offlaners. First and foremost, if you haven't heard already, from my videos, from other people's videos, Legion Commander. So what they did was give her Q a barrier for 100% of the damage that it deals. So in lane, you just deal this, and now you just get a free 58 damage barrier. So, yes, if you're in lane 1v1, free 58 damage barrier. If you hit 2 heroes with it, you get 174 barrier. And so at the end of the day, Legion is a really high move speed hero, and she also used to have a weak level 1 because she didn't have Moments of Courage and her Overwhelming Odds level 1. But guess what? Now she does have both of those level 1, and her Q is now like a shield crash. It already made it untradeable because you had bonus attack speed. By using it, you are already really strong at trading. Now level 1, you also have Moment of Courage, and you get free freaking defense. Don't forget team fights later where you're looking at, like, you know, hitting 3 heroes with level 4 Q. You know, you blink in, hit 3 heroes, boom, 1,000 shield for when you duel and when you jump in. Suddenly this hero becomes unkillable in the early to mid game. Crazy, 60% win rate in pubs. Get it while it's hot, people. Moving on, we got Axe. Another man that got free shit. So what Axe got was that his passive, he gains strength for armor as long as his teammates are not within 500 units of him. So all that really means is at the start of the game, look, an extra 2 strength. Oh, you buy a couple rings of protection. Oh, you have an extra 4 strength. It's just free shit, people. Also, his innate makes it so that his Culling Blade bonus before, which was kills turned into armor, is now just his built-in skill, and he gets it at the start of the game in lane, starts accruing that snowballing effect. So kind of like Shadow Shaman, who disables but also saves, Axe, who kills you and disables you. These heroes just snowball really fast. Because, you know, Shadow Shaman, you can't kill his teammates, and he kills you later. In the case of Axe, he just gets super tanky with strength on top of the armor. Like, giving a hero who already has armor, HP, that's more effective HP. That means the HP is even more impactful. And then you can just buy, like, Eternal Shroud or BKB, and you're literally unkillable. So unless Axe is a garbage lane, this hero absolutely broken. Next up, in the off lane, but also carry role potentially, is Nightstalker. So oftentimes people are taking the facet that makes it nighttime at the start. The other one is worth considering at lower MMRs where people don't punish you in lane. But making a hero who is weak in lane now have an extra 40% regen from the 0 to 5 minute mark, usually the time in the game where you need regen. Also, he just takes Hunter in the night passive. You know, you just have 396 movement speed, and you also have 20 extra attack speed, so you're just really strong because the only weakness Nightstalker ever had was that he was slow, because he has high base damage, high armor, and then you can just trade because you have 6 HP regen with no items, people. With a simple bracer, you're looking at 7.8 HP regen level 1. Absolutely unbeatable in lane, and the first 5 minutes for this hero are absolutely essential. You usually hit level 6 around 6-7 minutes anyway, so there's maybe like a 1 or 2 minute window where you're weak. But even then, it's like night times until 5:15 instead of 5 minutes. And also, to a reminder that Nightstalker has always been balanced around the fact that his first 5 minutes, he's really weak. So suddenly, he's really strong in the first 5 minutes. Then he hits this crazy power spike where he kills you around minute 6 or minute 7. And then we're just looking at a game that's completely out of control. Moving on to mids. I love playing heroes that got free shit. So what did Leshrac get? His attacks now restore mana. Don't take the other one. It's a complete bait. Not even going to read it. His attacks now restore mana as long as the target has mana. So range creeps as well as heroes. In the lane, you're just getting an extra 4, 5 mana, or 3, like with no items. You're just getting this mana for free on a hero that is very mana hungry. Also, his innate means that his AoE is going up for every point of intelligence. His ultimate is strictly better than before once he has 50 int. Let's see what he is level 6, right? With like a wand and a null talisman. He's already pretty much back to where he was with his ultimate, and from any point here on out, his ultimate is bigger. Not even counting Bloodstone, right? Same thing with all of his other spells. So yeah, Leshrac, free shit. We heckin' love it. We love free shit. You know, the rich get free shit. Leshrac was already good last patch. Why not make him even better? On top of him, we're looking at Death Prophet. Guess who got free shit? Her passive is now movement speed, which kind of replaces what she got from her ult, but comes online a bit earlier. But also she gets spell cooldown reduction per level. We heckin' love free shit. Most people are taking the other hero's deaths and power your exorcism talent, so she's also becoming a snowballing hero, because if she kills you, she then kills you faster with her ultimate. Crazy concept that all these heroes have in common here. Next up, we're looking at Pudge as a really good counter to these two heroes. I'm not actually sure why Pudge's win rate is so high. This facet, the Fresh Me one, that gives you strength when you dismember people, he has a 5% win rate in pubs with it. So I'm not exactly sure why, but he's insanely good in lane against all of these ranged mids with damage over time, like Spirit Siphon, like Diabolic Edict, like the Zeuses. So keep in mind, Pudge is an amazing counter to these heroes, really high base damage, sustains really well in lane, and you can actually pick and choose which abilities you want carefully, because at the end of the day, Flesh Sheep just simply levels up with your ultimate. Looking at carries, last but not least, we got the carries. So Tiny, we mentioned him in our first video. He's confirmed to be strong. His innate makes it so that he has craggy exterior, which just stacks damage reduction on you for 5 seconds, meaning that any hero that's trying to kill him, who already has high armor, by the way, Tiny does, now has even longer time taking to kill him because they have a stacking damage debuff. And then his Insurmountable makes it so that Tiny gains status resistance and slow resistance from his strength. It usually amounts to like 10 to 15 status resistance and slow resistance. So it's just free shit, people. Free shit. We love free shit. Have I taught you yet in this video that you love free shit? The build for Tiny tends to be like Treads, Echo Saber, like SNY, like Satanic, BKB, Shadowblade, Silver Edge, you know, the huge for carry Tiny. But looking at Wraith King with the Spectral Blade facet, it effectively does a second hit 3 seconds later on a target every time you hit the target for the first time, and it counts based on your original damage. So if we level up to level 7, giving ourselves a max crit, you're gonna see this crit's already 300%, right? Boom, hits for 208.
Is what it is.
Then it hits for 170. So it's hitting for 70% of a 300% crit. So you're getting a second hit that effectively does 225% of your base damage plus an extra 20, 40, 60, 80. So free shit, free damage. Doesn't have skeletons anymore with this facet. But man, this damage is absolutely overwhelming. People seem to be still going like the Armlet Radiance carry Wraith King build. So the build hasn't really changed. He does still need a way to farm. But they also gave him a 70 attack speed talent at level 20. Yeah, the cleave seems juicy, but 70 attack speed is just so good. And they also made it with his innate that he gets the lifesteal level 1. So he has the lifesteal that he always wanted to level but was useless because he leveled it. And then he also turns into a Wraith every time he dies, and that's something you get innately. And then your Wraith just kills people because it has bonus attack and movement speed and free pathing. So like when somebody kills you, you're just a Wraith that just does this. Like that's like an extra 300 damage that they just take because they killed you. So I've seen so many people die to the Wraith of Wraith King, even in the laning stage. Doesn't matter what stage of the game it is. And because of this ability plus this ability, it just does so much damage. Also in the carry role, we got Ursa. You know who else got free shit? Passive. Health is damage 1.5%. Free shit. And then he has 2 facets that are completely viable. One of them, which is really good against AoE damage, which is when damaged during Enrage, Ursa gains bonus attack damage for the duration of Enrage plus 5 seconds. So as people are just hitting you with AoE stuff, because they can't really control it, I think that's when it's really good, you're just getting free damage. And then also debuffs inflicted by Ursa last 20% longer. Orb of Venom, his own Fury Swipes, the slow from his Earth Shock, Basher, Abyssal Blade, Scotty, but you don't really go Scotty, but all the other ones I've mentioned, crazy, right? Crazy stuff that we're talking about here. So just free stuff galore. Ursa just feels like he does too much right now. I've played against it a few times. I've seen it at Dream League. Absolutely bonkers. And then last but not least, we're going to go for Juggernaut. A lot of people are taking the Blade Storm talent that does critical strike with your Blade Fury, but honestly, this Blade form, try it out. It is free agility, free movement speed, his passive that he gets 10% more damage against people facing him, which is a lot of the time. If they're running away, that's great. And damage bonus always applies during Omni Slash, so just extra free shit, people. We love free shit. Not to mention that his spin strong dispels you at the end of spin. His spin's now better than it ever was because in the past you couldn't target him with non-BKB piercing disables while he was spinning. But now you can, and if you manage to make that mistake, because he has 80% magic resistance, he just purges them at the end. So, yeah. With that being said, these are my top heroes by a large margin of this patch. Obviously, when a huge patch comes out like this, the game is not going to be very well balanced. I personally don't love this very much because then you're pretty much forced to pick these heroes in the first few days. Fortunately for me, I do love playing Ursa, and I do love playing Juggernaut, and I do love playing Wraith King, but is what it is. So get it while it's hot, people. Get the free shit. We love free shit. I hope you love free shit. That's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed this video because it was also free shit. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys later.